today. Can you hear it okay? Share my screen on my phone. In a channel. Phone. Fancy stuff. Come on. There we go. It's Monday, August 26, 2024. Screen share. Firefox. Sharing. Click screen share. Sorry, your browser is not sharing. Settings. Res. Not gonna let me screen share. Great. Okay. Hey. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Let's go to this screen. Here we go. And I'll need this. What's that? Webcam 1. Oh. Man. Fuck over. Source. Webcam. Alright, I'm a little tired this morning. Webcam. Of course. That'll be it. The fuck? See that. Okay. For now. So I went through looking for good morning, Alex, or afternoon, and Ann, and Whitney. Good morning, U.S., and afternoon in the UK, and evening in Australia. I've been going through. I found on Facebook Messenger somehow on my mobile app only. It's only on the mobile. I can't find it on the browser. My history, my chat history with Doug. I've been thinking about him. Oh look, Douglas Scott Kramer. Yeah. So on the PC, on the browser, Chrome, it's just show you what it looks like. There's nothing right here. No face. As far as I know, this is the same person. But look, he just got sanitized. This is what I was worried about whenever after he died, that people were gonna get a hold of the his computer and everything and sanitize it all. Morning, Bach. Hey, thanks for those pictures of the 101st. That is really cool. I'm a super World War II nut. I watch everything multiple times. Anything that's ever on Netflix, I watch. I just can't get enough of that stuff. And there's a community uh, that's Euro and US that used to play a lot of games together, and now we're playing this new game called Once Human, and the Euros and the US group have sort of reformed, but it's a bit of a culture shock for some of the members that have joined on the US side because they never played with the Euros. And yeah, the first time you sent it, it was just an email. I do that all the time, by the way, Bach. Here's this file. And they're like, where? You said all this stuff, and that all sounds good, but where's the file? So I was going all the way back to the beginning, really, uh, of when we started communicating on Facebook. Um, and I was talking through a whole bunch of IT shit. There's a lot of stuff in here. Um, and I don't know if y'all remember all the memorial videos and whatnot for Doug. You know, I don't think I really did one because I'll be memorializing him forever, I guess. Um, and it's trying to read. I need to probably back up and screenshot all this stuff. And some of it may have been edited, but I know for sure the stuff that at the very end was deleted. And I'm not even sure if that was him writing it. It probably was, but I know that it wasn't. I know that it wasn't like sincerely him. He had been driven into some kind of state temporarily, and he thought I was Osa or something. So, understandably, if you think someone's Osa, and be very hostile towards them. Hey, Janet, how you doing? Okay, so it looks like April 29th. Oh no, there's more. Goes back further. It's just trying to load. Hmm. It's just these are the good memories of Doug. Come on, just go all the way back to the beginning. That's what I want. So, how y'all doing this morning? Oh, okay. Alex says all your Facebook chat history will always be available in your data archive, which you can download. I can show you. Yes, let's do that at some point for sure. I need you to show me how to do that. Okay, it's loading a whole bunch more from April, beginning of April. Go April 12th, back. See, there's just so much communication going on. Just right here we go. Images and stuff. I really wish I could screen share, but it won't let me screen share the device. Spell trick drives Doug nuts. Okay. Back. StreamYard links. Guessing this March now. Bunch of missed calls, voice messages. Oh, look. I've got links. Yeah. Alex, I'm definitely going to need to do this because there's links I want to see if they work or not. I'm not going to click on them on my phone because it'll take me out of this. I won't be. This is all the way December 2022. I don't remember when we started talking on Facebook, but we talked on the phone before since 2017. It's not going to go that far back. But he brings up a lot of interesting points, you know, and I just want to revisit this stuff. I can play some music. It doesn't suck, hopefully. X drive. I'm not purposefully trying to do some kind of ASMR thing. I just probably need a nap. Uh, Got some fiddling around on the guitar. Play some of this game music I made. YouTube once. Can't hear my voice. I'm not talking very loud. I can do this out. Large diaphragm. All right, is that better? Need to be louder. Yes, no, maybe so. Oh, I see what's going on here. Okay. Way better? Great. Turn my headphones up. And that should be on repeat. Repeat. And this, I want to record with actual strings. I just was reflecting, I guess, on how much we did in such a short period of time. Because when I started scrolling through this stuff, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. We both kind of lit each other's fire, I guess, or so to speak. Because sometimes I'll just be like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. Like, most of the time. Scientology, there we go. Beginning, I got to the beginning. July 20th, 2020 is when we started communicating on Facebook. And he sent me a BT Claude link, which is a video downloader, looks like. Or no, I sent him that. And I said, feel free to archive the Scientology stuff. The other stuff, please keep private. So, like, all the chronicles that are there now, that's everything. It was the stuff that I told him that I didn't want to republish. Which he always wanted me to, alright, yeah. I turned the music down a little more, or is that good? Can you repeat the question? Okay. Yeah, the music is still on, I think. Okay. Yeah. So, you know, I had like 8 to 10 or 20 videos up that were just Scientology videos. And he had seen all of the 200 or something videos. And he was like, you need to put all that back. But I told him, no, not right now. And he was, you know, he didn't pressure me. He said, consider it. They said, will do. I'm just watching and taking notes. I won't store or download any of these vids or share them with anyone. Because I'd given him access to all of those that he was talking about. He wanted to go through and rewatch them for the interview that he did with me. And I'm not sure that the links are in here, but I'm not sure if they're unlisted. Because he told me before he died that he got them back up through StreamYard, saved the first 3. I don't know if they're still there. And he was really upset that those didn't survive the channel wipe or whatever. Good morning, Martha. Good morning, Brian. Sorry I dropped the ball on contacting you this week, or last week, Brian. I've been playing Once Human. We got a 24/7 schedule or rotations going on. So yeah, he says, thanks. I remember these vids well. It's super interesting listening to this vid of you again in a new unit of time. I said, yeah, that was a decade ago. And this is something that it's not just, this isn't related to Doug per se, but this is, or at least to me, when people tell you that you've done something that, I'll just read it. He says, you were ahead of your time, period. Very brave of you to put this all out there, particularly in 2015. We had talked about my previous experience to Scientology, you know, just growing up in a high control house. He said, I'm sorry for your upbringing. It's hard hearing this. Doesn't seem you had a choice from exiting the womb. And then my phone died. he said, thanks again, man, for sharing these. Um, so he wanted to do, this was before the first interview, and he wanted to come, he was asking me, how do we get any information about like who you are to try and pull in viewers. So I told him when you get a chance, go through the comment section of Aaron Smith Levin's video, and there were people who were asking what happened to this guy months after and years after the interview. There's some interesting comments in there too. Some people say I went back to Scientology. Some people say that Scientology paid me off. Some people say uh, I just got tired of Scientology broadcasting, which I did because I was being followed and all that stupid shit. I think Lulu is barking for Doug or something. I don't know. I'd probably hear that in the background. Yeah, he's just reiterating what I said. Did anyone in the comments section answer that question? Did someone say, "Hey, he has a YouTube channel on it," or whatever, or did people just think you dropped off the face of the earth? I said, yeah, something like that. And later in the comments, someone said something like, yeah, he switched it to music and pulled all his videos. Yeah, back 10 years ago when I started making videos, I was very unapologetic and almost like deflective. I wasn't doing it for you. I wasn't doing it for anyone but me. So I would say, that's what this is. This is I'm doing this for myself. And I don't care how many subscribers I get. I don't care about subscriber count. I don't care about monetization. I don't care as I have PayPal and Venmo and Cashapp and fucking buy me a coffee here. That's donations to what I consider a fucking public service that I'm providing. So you like what I can talk about, whatever helps, cool. It's not required. It's appreciated. It's not required, and I'm not looking to become this big superstar YouTube person. I did it for myself, and there was less than 100 people. A lot of the subscribers I have, I don't even know who they are because they don't tune in when I'm broadcasting, and they rarely comment. There was more commenting and activity in the community when I had less than 100 subscribers. Yeah, I really don't give a fuck, Whitney. I mean, honestly. And Doug brought more of that out of me, I guess. The don't give a fuck. The, hey, you know what? Fuck you. To the haters and stuff. Or the passive aggressive haters too, because there's so much of that. Like in Scientology, you learn how to, manipulate and control. It's your fucking number one priority, essentially. Even people who aren't OT, like say Sea Org members, they get given a hat, which is a job description, and they may know nothing about it. They could be a mechanic, like you're now a car mechanic. They don't know shit about it, but they have to be OT and become an expert. That can go horribly wrong, or you never know. Someone actually might be able to push themselves that way and learn an entire skill set under the duress of Scientology. So, he said all the more reason for after I said people were commenting, yeah, he posts music videos now. He said all the more reason for people to see upload these videos again, and or compilation plus a really cool interview will be updating so they can hear what all has been going on. That you're alive and have floating needle VGIs today. Then he quotes Hubbard. He says, "Only the suppressive deals in bad news." He said, "I love how the fat tard got us to believe even telling a joke was a cause for ethics actions." And then I replied, "That was something Kathy and Tom didn't really enforce on us, but we enforced on the public because, you know, y'all were beneath us on the responsibility scale chart diagram." Yeah, Whitney, I did have the come at me bro attitude back then. That's what Doug was commenting on about the 2015 through 2017 stuff. And they did come at me, bro. Like, my divorce was messy, and my ex-wife says she didn't know anything about all the allegations that her attorney put on me in court, and there was 20 something of them, and you know, essentially required an attorney for 2 years, and it financially just bankrupted me and put my parents in a position to where they had to be mediators and also sort of complicit in alienation or disconnection from me from my kids, which is minimal compared to what you call disconnection in Scientology. I'm not disconnected from my kids, but access, because of the way the court case went and what happened. And when I told her that I was going to be, I started making videos and stuff. I mean, we had other problems too, but we had kids, and that was like things that I think we could have worked out. But she was terrified of fair game, and she told me I should go back to the mission in Baton Rouge. It wasn't an org yet. She said, maybe you should go back to the mission. And I'm like, well, no. So, you know, I made the video and she left with the kids. So, you know, for you know, a while Doug would say, man, that's fair game, dude. They fair gamed you. And it's like hard for me to believe that because I don't have any proof. There's no proof. The PBS of YouTube. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. What you got going on today? Oh, good. You got better care and you got an exploratory surgery in 3 hours. Texting from the morphine cloud. Wow. Woo-wee. You let my voice in your head when you're on morphine? Does it sound nice? Okay. So I was talking about treating public badly. And he said, of course, I even felt that as a piece of shit public. That's how they got my ass on staff. I knew I was just an unethical, lazy, me public Scientologist. While staff were real, responsibility taking Cylons. And then I responded, "Grats on your little win." Yeah, big wins and little wins. And he had a double laugh, crying face emoji. And then I responded in quotations, "Wash his hands, back, and then back to the trenches for me. Gonna go clear a planet, you fucking DB." Degraded being. He says, I know, bro. I'm working on my A to E at the moment." That's a security check, which is just a big, long interrogation session. Yeah, good luck, Martha. I hope that goes really well. Let us know what happens. Let me, if you can, if you're able, after you get out of OR, shoot a message on the community board. Like to know how you're doing. Uh, he says, and it's OT to you, sir, not DB. I said OTs can be DBs, and I outrank you anyway because I'm still technically in good standing and have an HQS designation. He said, this public piece of shit ascended the bridge and achieved superhuman abilities. Did you guys achieve that on staff? No. Stand down, sir, or I shall unleash my OT powers. Hey, staff kept you away from losing your damn mind on all the auditing. Public suffer and have feelings too, and he's right. There's at one point in time, earlier, like he was saying, 2013 through 2015, there was, sort of like, well, I was Sea Org, so it was bad. And there's people like me who's like, I was staff and it was bad. And then there were, I don't know very many, there were some public people who had spoken out. Brian Culkin was a public. He spoke out. But, it was this separation of like, my trauma is worse than yours. And I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. That shit went on. Like, oh, that's irrelevant because it wasn't Sea Org, or oh, that's irrelevant because it wasn't staff, or oh, that's irrelevant because it wasn't public. So, he makes a great point there because auditing, the amount of auditing he had is so traumatizing because his parents were very wealthy. And so in one of the videos, he talks about every action on the bridge, he did every side action. And that's just a way for them to milk more money out of the family. But in the process, it drives a person insane. Yeah, Brian Culkin, it was about 10, 11 years ago. It's really good. And if you haven't seen it, it's an older video. It's not new, but Brian Culkin is a great one. And obviously, the guy from, what was it, NYPD Blue or something. Y'all will help me remember, I hope. He's the guy that, from New York. I think he plays a firefighter or a cop in a show. Jason something. He says he's just joking and degrading again. I'm a past life OT. Okay. So he said, I just read the comments on the video from Aaron Smith Levin. We got to get you back in the spotlight, kid. People think you're dead or scared off. I said, maybe that's what I wanted. He said, they love that video too. You have an amazing story to share with people. In case you didn't already know that. I said, yeah, it's hard to see through the smoke and fire when you're in it, and I was in it a long time prior to Scientology and after. He said, believe me, I understand, bro. Jason Begay, that's it. Is this good for y'all? You're going through this interaction? I mean, Doug's not here to bitch at me about it. I don't feel like I'm doing any disservice to him. And it's actually kind of therapeutic for me to go through. I haven't read this shit in years, and that. Okay. So I said jokingly, sarcastically, I said, I'm cool as F. He says, I know. I said, just learned that from a bunch of people too, that I've been pretty cool for a long time, considering. And he laughed and said, yes, indeed. And at that time, I was talking to a couple of friends. I was traveling back and forth from New Orleans to Lake Charles to Lafayette, and had some friends that were musicians that had looked up to me for years. And then I always thought I always thought people hated me or were avoiding me. And one of my friends pointed out in a way that really made me understand it. It was like an aha moment. She explained that a lot of it was intimidation or nervousness. Now, she did agree that there were people out there that hated me and or were jealous of me and didn't want to and were avoiding me. That part was still true, but majority of it was, not people not knowing what to say, how to introduce themselves, how to start a conversation and stuff like that. And she, you know, sometimes you need to hear a specific thing. You can hear it from 10 other people and it won't really make sense. It's like you question it. But if you hear it from a specific person, this person I'm speaking about is a really hypercritical person. Like, she would let me know. She always lets me know what's up. So, and it's complicated, but she just can't not say things. Like, she can't hold anything back. I hope that makes sense. And she explained to me that, it's because a lot of people are intimidated. And I was trying to accept that. It's hard to accept. Why am I intimidating? What did I do to intimidate these people? A lot of them I don't even know. Anyways, he said Scientology was a minor glitch in all our coolness factor, but you were always cool, I imagine. Back to watching your vids. This next this next bong hit is in your honor, sir. I said, word up. He said, I expect you to be doing the same. I need a full edit by Thursday at 2. I said, I'm about to try to go to bed. I have therapy this morning. You can go read Pain and Sex, lol. He said, you better not be holding any cans in those therapy sessions. I said, nah, she wants to do EMDR. He said, I always liked Pain and Sex. Fuck Hubbard. And I said, but I've been teaching her about what happens when you switch shit on and off. EMDR is like auditing. I said, baby auditing. That bilateral stimulation is done in the mind of the pre-clear. No hypnotic device needed once the demonstration is made. The PC imagines the needle. And I believe that to be true. It's just a theory, but I think that the e-meter is a hypnotic or a pseudo-hypnotic device, because once you see how the meter operates, then when you sit in the chair and hold the cans, you're imagining, usually with your eyes closed, what the needle's doing. And it's almost like installing one of those in your mind, in your mind's eye. All right, Martha. I'll give you a moment of silence. Come back. Unless it's your time, in which case you won't want to come back. I hope you come back healthier. He said, your needle is floating. Disassociation achieved. Yes. And he said, I'd like to indicate the bypass charge you had for Hubbard's Tech. Bypass charge is something that you're holding on to. It's like anger, frustration, irritation, that you haven't it's like, think of it as a capacitor, and it stores energy. Capacitor stores energy. So Hubbard makes the analogy that the mind, which is not the brain, the mind, which is all around you, can have bypass charge. And one of the things that is attractive about that idea is that you can see some effects that you could attribute to that. For instance, you walk into a room after a couple has had a fight, and the air is just different. The mood is different. And you can associate and attribute that to charge, bypass charge. Or there's a lot of charge in this room. Or, what's with all the charge, man? I said, another thing I can talk about, I'm starting EMDR soon. He said, I hadn't heard of that before, just watched a couple vids on it. Very interesting. Have you tried it out? I said, yeah, but my therapist got lymphoma and had kidney stones. He said, is that a sign to select a different EMDR therapist? I said, oh yeah, I had to get a new one. He said, hey, have you ever tried a session? What did you think? Does it help to release trauma, etc.? I said, that session? No. But I can see how it works, and there's similarities in it and in auditing, as they both cause bilateral stimulation. Now, again, that's the theory. I believe that it does cause bilateral stimulation in both cases. So he said, makes sense. Would like to hear more. Yeah, for sure you can talk about it. I watched several of your vids last night. Man, you speak well on all this shit. I said, I don't know how well I could now. I was definitely digging deep. He said, what? Your knowledge went backwards? Smiley face. I would even imagine you learned even more since doing videos, interviews, etc. back in 2015 to 2018. I watched your 2-hour video intro, your interview with Aaron. Aaron was a little douchey, but your telling of the story was amazing, dude, really. And I listened to your Come Get Some Extra interviews. Going to watch the rest in due time. I told him to look into the Kaiva Go stuff for the neuro-linguistic programming parts. He said, we'll check out Kaiva Go stuff tonight. Got engrossed in the interviews. They were great. In understanding your overall life experience, were you and Aaron going to do more vids together at some point? Something fell through. It sounded at the end like you two were going to do some more. Something about that dude rubs me the wrong way. I said, yeah, there was Travis after me and then 2 others that were going to do it that backed out and ghosted. Former Ventura staff members. And then there's screenshots of comments from the Aaron Smith Levin video. He said, that's the X community for you. Unfortunately, thank God neither you nor I had scaled the elite of the elite rank, both in cult as well as out. Fuck these guys. Lol. Let's see what these comments say. Oh, I'm scared to move because I don't want to go to present. I'd have to scroll all the way back up. So someone said, whatever happened with this guy? He is very interesting. Can't read that one. I can't hardly read any of these comments, but they're on the Aaron Smith Levin video. And then I responded talking about EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. This therapy is based on the idea that negative thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are the result of unprocessed memories. The treatment involves standardized procedures that include focusing simultaneously on spontaneous associations of traumatic images, thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations, very much like auditing. B. Bilateral stimulation that is most commonly in the form of repeated eye movements. Now, I think that this can be, what's the right word? Induced in the brain, simulated, emulated, whatever word you want to use, with a hypnotic device, such as an e-meter. That's just theory. I linked my DEI scale video, HCCI pre-session processes, and the dissemination drill. This was stuff we went deep diving in Backflash. I said that one is private still. I think you'll appreciate it. It describes a lot of what Jim crammed everyone on. He said, great video. These concepts are terrifying to revisit, though. I said, mm-hmm. I linked them some more videos. Present time problems. Whitney, I have had 4 EMDR sessions. And from a licensed EMDR practitioner who also has specializations. My EMDR sessions focus on early childhood development stuff, early childhood or adverse childhood experiences. It's real difficult, and it's a lot like auditing because you get, I don't know what the word is, brain fog or something when these memories come up, these hidden memories, these forgotten things, and you don't know if they're real or not. And I confronted her immediately about that. I'm like, how do I know I'm not just making this shit up? And she said, well, you might be, but we process it anyway. And I'm like, okay, that seems a little weird. But the thing is they go by the results, over time, through your evaluations and whatnot. And the results are, better than 50% success rate. So it's not going to work for everybody. There are some things that she wanted to do that didn't work for me. But there were 2 out of the 4 that did. So it's kind of, hit or miss from my experience. All right, so something happened with Steve Mango, and I said, this Mango stuff is good news. I'm glad to see he has seen firsthand all the stuff you were talking about. Looking forward to watching the other 4 videos. Wonder if there's any funding out there for dramedy. I am up to 2018 on downloading all my shit. So I had to re-download all my videos and re-upload them. That's why they're all fucked up in time stamps. Because I backed them up on my PC and deleted them. So, had to be re-uploaded. Joe, Gathacacological. Hey, how you doing? Oh, that's another good thing to bring up, Whitney, about EMDR. You need to be well rested and feeling up to the task, because you will likely, and they're supposed to let you know that you could, in Scientology auditing, you can turn things on and off. You may do an EMDR session and have a bout of depression that lasts for 2 weeks. But it goes away and it stays away. It's it drudges all this. It's like cleaning out a fucking nasty sink. It is so nasty. You might get sick from it, but then the sink is clean, and then you don't, you're not sick forever. I said, got 40 minutes into that Steve video. I knew someone would get targeted. I didn't want it to be me. I have a good reputation with Never Ends. My brother and I sucked a lot of hours out of people. Genuine interactions. We were talking about I was telling him about a series that I wanted to do called The Mission, about things that happen at missions. And I said Never Ends might be up to snuff enough to watch something depicting the subtlety of attacks if presented properly. That's still a dream of mine, to write and direct a mission style scenario sitcom. There's some comments removed here. I said it is more like 290 videos and a bunch of removed responses. The next one that he responded, or that is in this, is the Riverside mission still in business today? I said no. If you look at a second, it shows the corporation date and the status of the corp, which is no longer active. From what I was told, Church of Scientology International kind of started at Riverside. In '82, it looks like they merged with Church of Scientology International. He said, interesting. Yeah, I noted the part merged out in '82, yet it's still listed apparently as a Church of Scientology Riverside. Safe to say Kathy Steiner no longer has any connection, affiliation with it, I imagine. And I said, yeah, she's been gone since the 90s, I think. Mid to late 90s, I think she cut ties, but that staff is the people that went to Flag and worked on the Flag Executive Special Briefing Course and helped establish Church of Scientology International. It already existed, but Hubbard was pissy because he wasn't getting his checks. Then I posted my I'm Alive and Well video, which was like, before I did my interview with Doug, I think. And I said the current curated list is up. Still going through stuff, seeing if I can edit down things and make them more digestible. I did many long videos. And then I told him that William Sims Bainbridge infiltrated the Process Church in 1978 with a guy named Stark. They were sociologists. There were some omitted, redacted texts from him in that conversation too. He said, I noticed that. Small freaking world. More redacted texts. Because there's no context. That's how I know it's been taken out. He said, thanks, man. It was rough. It was my first time live. That was after our first backflash or interviews. He said, would love to interview you if you ever wanted to. I said, sure. I'm back in Lake Charles for my daughter's birthday. Be back in the studio in New Orleans Monday. Can do it soon if you want. I sent him messages that were meant for someone else. I don't remember. Probably music related. Oh no, it's supposed to go to Jamie Ward. Movie related. I said, my week is open. Just have one phone call Monday. He said, great, bro. Anytime you want to do an interview, just let me know. Monday works, or any other time you might have free during the week or weekend. Whatever works for you. Happy birthday to your daughter, brother. Thank God she isn't being raised in Scientology and will retain the free spirit in this picture. I said, indeed, thank God. And you still good for tomorrow? Couple video calls. Hour and 28 minutes. Hour and 47 minutes. Here's a song. Will it play? This was when I released what is the name of this song? I can't remember the name of my own song that I released that year. Living in the Moment. Living in the Moment. Hey, bro, quick question. Were you not able to use that cool pic of you against the black background? Didn't see that in the folder you sent. Great fucking track, by the way. Beautiful. Got the folder, thanks. Just trying to figure out how to download them so I can save them with. And Photo P. I love this track you sent over. I figured out how to download them just now, FYI. Oh, good job, Doug. You figured out how to download shit? Cool. Thank you, baby. This black and white with you at the mic is perfect. Pulse Cult Transformations. Sick title. He said I just started on a thumbnail. He sent me, that's been redacted. He's like, lol, trust me, it will look a lot better. I just got started. He would send me drafts as he was drafting. It's like, just finish it. Anyway. Hey bro, if you have a moment to write, put a bio, whatever you'd like to post about you, your Scientology journey in the description box. I was like, oh Lord, okay. He said, just a little bio, bro. Nothing too fancy, like you were at Ventura Melrose. I'm like, yeah, okay. I made a... God, I'm such a troll. So I had to get permission to use a photo from John Landry, photographer who did the photography at the recording sessions. And he said, yep. And then I responded with the description being really sarcastic. Okay, Marcus Lee Sawyer, formerly one of two bastard musician brothers, one of two that joined the Steiner Missions International, one of 7 non-executive Melrose staff, one of non-executive Ventura staff, one Celebrity Center public, one ASHO public, one LA Day public, one AOLA public, one HQS, one FSMIC, one BSO, one TR twin, one book, one auditor, one volunteer minister. Currently, 3 musical artists, 1 editor, 1 producer, 1 musician, 1 audio engineer, 1 broadcast engineer, 1 gamer, 2 former gaming guild leader, 1 technical advisor, 1 Foley artist, 1 sound design. Perfect. Thanks, dude. I'm going to send you a link for what I have up so far for your vid and see what changes you might want to make, how you think it looks. I don't even think he read that. He just saw the long list and was like, oh, he's got a list. Because later, he's like, really, man? Okay, so this was... Yeah, this was right around when we started the StreamYard. Okay, there's the StreamYard link. You coming soon. Okay, so that was after the interview. Okay. I've only watched the full video on my TV so far. It's such a great interview. Going to watch the comments part tomorrow. I could tell the chat was lively when we were doing it. Definitely should continue the process. I love the people in the comments. They seem so cool. I linked him an article that The Advocate wrote, which is a news publication in New Orleans, in Lafayette, that did an article on Scientology Mission of Baton Rouge offers solutions to everyday struggles. And The Advocate is not some pushover news agency. They're pretty fucking big, so like, it costs a lot of money. You know, that they paid for that. But The Advocate run it. Just business to them, I guess. So he said, wow, so this dude is still in the cult. Interesting article to read. Isn't it amazing how Scientologists say almost exactly the same things regarding their wins and how they explain Scientology? Wonder who the ED at Baton Rouge today. Wayne and Vicky, perhaps? I said, no, that's him up there. That's Dominic. That's the guy that almost threw the door. He said, wow, how long has he been a Scientologist? Any chance of him ever waking up and leaving? I said, I hope and I pray. I do care about the guy. Travis, he and I were very good friends. Once we were gone, they really turned the screws on him. Got him to order a ComEv on me, which is like a Nazi tribunal type deal. So that's really sad, man. The thing is, I would love to reach out to him and Scientologists in general to invite a chat about Scientology, but of course, these people will never open themselves up to a healthy debate discussion about their religion. I just wish we could show Dominic and the like what they're involved in and snap them out of the whole fucking thing so they could be free of that sickness. Sounds like Dominic might wake up someday, so there's hope, perhaps. I said, I've gone to the mission asking to speak with him. It's always dead, and there's always a Sea Org terminal that greets me. He said, wow, and you weren't able to speak to him directly. You speaking was being cock blocked by the Sea Org terminal. Did he know you were at the front desk to see him? I said, cameras for sure. He said, no doubt. I said, I've also tried to contact Monica, but she routed back on. And then we had an hour and 50-minute phone call. And then he asked me to call him on his 818 number and probably had a 4-hour phone call. And then from there, I gave him another 30 links to videos. I said that should be posted on the description, and I formatted and so you can copy paste. I plan on touching a lot of material in regards to how it helped me and how it could help anyone on the road to recovery from a cult or high control group. Are you ready for tomorrow? If you're not feeling it, we can reschedule. Are you doing okay? He said, hey bro, Judy woke up after staying up all night into the afternoon. Yeah, all is good. Am down for tomorrow. Judy, that means just woke up. Just have to come to now and read over the links you sent. You up for a phone call to discuss long phone call. Post-cult transformations or pre-transformation SoundCloud, whatever the fuck that is. All right then. I said it. Y'all remember. I'm gonna let her charge up here. Ooh. It's Monday, August 26th, 2024. Pictures. More pictures. StreamYard link. Did the broadcast. Another broadcast. There's a lot of redacted stuff here. Morning, bro. I pushed the interview time back 2 hours to grab a little more sleep if you don't mind. So instead of your 11 a.m., it'd be 1 p.m. And since we'll be meeting 1 hour early, I'll see you at my noon time. Is this okay? It's funny to me because in Scientology you say this is okay with a period instead of is this okay with a question mark. So he asked me if I rewatched. We both took naps. He said I'm about 20 minutes into it thus far. Just finished an interview with Tony. As soon as I'm done editing this, I'm going to watch the rest. The first 20 minutes I've seen so far are epic. Have you watched the replay yet? This is the video that I'm not sure is still up. Whenever you have a chance, bro, Jamie asked you a question on that vid in the comments. Okay, I already answered. I answered the thing. So this was him like, hey, interact with the people that we just broadcasted to. They're asking questions. So I said, was the good news from Tony interview or bad? He said the interview with Tony went great too. He provides a lot of good info regarding Masterson case, LAPD corruption, etc. He's going to put it out of his on his Substack Monday morning. I said that's cool. The fact that he's talking to you and dealing with you in a non-exclusive way. And then I put an ellipses and I said, wait, do you have an NDA with him? And he says, say what? Lol. And I said, I take that as a no. And that's also a VGI, a very good indicator. He said, yeah, all Tony's going to do is promote it, put it up on his Substack, which goes out to his whole mailing list, which is really cool of him to do because it will be flooded with views, whereas without him posting it, it won't. Very positive feedback from your interview. Looks like part 3 is in order if you want to do it. We scheduled it. It was an AMA. I think. And we talked about getting Chris to smoke with us. It never happened. What do we got here? Oh, I linked him Wayne Dyer video. What comes out is what is inside. Wayne Dyer explains how to heal yourself completely. Now, I know Wayne Dyer is one of these new age gurus who's a crook, but gurus they're there to teach you something. It may be something real important that you don't ever want to, like, the consequences could be far worse than someone just taking all your money. So anyways, but I don't think Wayne Dyer was evil or anything. But, we all do. Who are we to judge someone? I don't know, man. But it's a good video, actually. Wayne Dyer, what comes out is what is inside. Some good theology in there. He said, this was good, dude. I can't argue with anything this guy says. Are you in BR by chance? Feel like chatting? Phone call. I was in BR. Long phone call. Just finished the interview with Aaron on Travis, or just finished the interview with Travis on Aaron's channel. Fantastic. I said, I just woke up. Some redacted stuff again. I'm surprised at how much is not here. Because he was asking if Travis would do an interview. And he said, happy Travis is down. Learned so much more about you guys and the mission listening to this interview. And then there's more redacted stuff because then it went on to Cynthia's stuff about the Mormon religion because she did something with Doug as well. Cynthia said the only thing that would cause problem for her in her life regarding talking about Mormonism is the fact that she had herself excommunicated, so that's off the table. He said, I totally understand. An idea for the name of our Q&A, ask us anything, potential trouble sources, Marcus and Doug. I said, whatever you think is best. I figured it'd be part 3 of Post-Cult Transformations Q&A. I crashed out early or late night the other night, got me off my schedule. Crashed at like 12 last night. This was, I guess, whenever Doug and I... This is whenever I failed, and my therapist told me, she warned me, she's like, you need to have a boundary there that, don't, allow anybody, even your friends and people that you love, to, hold you hostage with stuff. And I was staying up late and talking for a long time about all kinds of stuff. And he would share, and I would share, and he would share.
really needed to go to therapy. And that's what I was trying to get him to do. But he said, why do I need a therapist when I have you? You worked with Wayne Dyer. Holy shit. I believe that. He had the biggest ego I've ever seen, but a lot of what he said was still true. So there's that. Yes. That's all I'm saying is that, who are we to judge, right? He's given out the information. It's very valuable. It's useful. Um, and honestly, like, if it, like I said, there's way worse things that people can do than make you part from your money. Scientology really likes to do that, but they do way worse things. And, but people do come out and they have learned a lot. I can say that. All right, so this was when it was starting to fucking interrupt my schedule, my life, basically. He said Render apparently went to the FBI several years ago when they told him they were setting up to raid Gold Base. Nothing came of it. I don't think the CIA will take it down, as it's probably an extension of that. Hard to imagine a corrupt and compromised CIA, FBI government are going to take Scientology down when they most likely stand to benefit by it continuing to be there as they always have. I said, yarp. And then I said, sorry, had to unplug a bit. I'm going through all my channels and not Google Takeout, downloading them for smaller edits. He said, are you friends with Travis on Facebook? I said, I'm a busy bee this morning. He made up a thumbnail. Great. Some redacted stuff. Um, he says, my schedule is all over the place. And I said, I'm a real party animal over here, partitioning hard drives. I told him to take care of himself, go for a walk. He said, I had self care sussed until the scamdemic changed all that. Gyms shut down, had my car stolen, etc. All in the name of health. I said, if you're conditioned by guilt like I was from an early age, I felt like sometimes still think it, that I have to abstain from rest. I have no time to rest. Humor. Why'd you have your car stolen? That sucks, dude. He said, what I'm saying is, I was perfectly healthy and had a self care routine until this bullshit happened in 2020. I said, well, you know what they say. That was then. Cliches, a lot of them true. Also annoying as hell. Not trying to annoy you more. He said, my car was broken into multiple times as the homeless population exploded right under the bridge next to me. It was madness here during the scamdemic. I said, dude, LA almost sounds like literal hell the way you describe it. He said, I'm dealing with it, but this had a massive impact on everything. I just typed nod. He said, it is hell, but other countries have it worse. France, I said, was pretty bad. Lancaster, UK was pretty bad. He said, you wouldn't want to live in Australia, Canada, or New Zealand at the moment. I said, but nothing like what you described to me, still talking about LA. I can't imagine LA during COVID. He said, does Travis want to be interviewed perchance? Would like to do a three-way Q&A after and before that. I said, yes, he is interested in talking with you, of course. I'm down for whatever you want to do on your channel. There's not many people I've talked to, just Aaron, you, and that come get some extra guy, but there's a unique window here with the Masterson case where I can kind of keep my head down, and after that, I don't know what, or if I'll do more interviews. I have a lot on my plate creatively that does not relate at all to Scientology. He said, sure, whatever you want to do. That's why I wanted to briefly talk and see what you want to do, if anything. Briefly talk. Briefly talk. What reminds you of Tom Cruise in Magnolia? Oh, Wayne Dyer, right? Yeah, totally. I worked for Louise Hay. If they published her publishing company in the last 30 years, which is the largest spiritual publishing company in the world, I worked for them. No shit. Well, I have a working title for a book now. I haven't started writing it. But I really like the working title and the it's kind of like a song. Sometimes I guess I'm approaching it like that because sometimes just the title will help me let the song write itself. So, cult fiction, I think, will write itself over time. I guess I do need to put some time into it. He said, "You available to chat? You can talk on Facebook, LinkedIn.com, Kathy Steiner. Is this thumbnail okay? Yeah. Okay, this is all stuff about him wanting me to double broadcast on my channel while we did broadcasts on his. He told me to take a shower. I smell. Uh, yeah. Um, he linked me. Let me see. He linked me an Andrew Bustamante, who was interviewed on Concrete Podcast. Um, okay, there's a person that I can't mention her name. Got to be careful. Um, it's for their protection. I know it's annoying as fuck, and you know the I don't give a fuck thing is definitely still real, but there's also there gonna be consequences for things. Anyway, um, so yeah, I gotta scroll past all of that. The whole conversation there can't talk about. It's just to protect people and their families. So, but it's all the same kind of stories that you can imagine. Yeah, I agree, Whitney. And I hope I didn't fuck anything up by saying what I read about Cynthia. But I don't think her folks watch this or anything. I could be wrong. I don't know. Fuck. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, I hope I'm not. Whatever. I I said the M word and now I'm high. Um. Okay. Trying to edit while reading these messages, multitasking. He was going crazy with the edits. He was doing a lot of interviewing, and there's a lot of just phone calls in here. I did a video about the blood of the covenant, a super misunderstood concept, or commonly misunderstood concept. Um, he was editing and then he watched it. He watched Cynthia's interview. He said he's so happy she shared her story. Uh, he was asking about other people from Baton Rouge or Ventura. I told him about Adam Guidry, who won the birthday game, which is a big deal in Scientology. He sold a lot of books, him and Jim Hamry. Okay. Christmas time. Long phone call. redacted message is no context, so I'm not reading it. It's just like I don't even know what that's about. Yeah. These are. Oh wow. Does he have the first 3 videos? Nope. Don't see it. That's a damn shame. Okay. Um. So I sent him an updated playlist of the Chronicles as I was uploading them, and he said, "This is awesome." And he said, "So here's what the title will look like on your YouTube for Friday's interview. That time I titty fucked Monica. Live with ex-Scientologist Marcus Sawyer." And that didn't even happen. That's what he said. Okay? He wanted to know if me and Monica ever had anything. As most dudes that hung around Monica would want to know. So, anyways, he pried it out of me one night. I've told the story before. Cynthia come around the corner in the kitchen, and I'm talking about having sex with Monica, and he wants to know all the details, and I'm like, you know, I went, we did that, and then I went home. And he's like, "Oh, so no, it was more than that, man. You didn't titty fuck her or anything." Oh, so he said, "Here's what the title will look like on your YouTube for Friday's interview. That time I titty fucked Monica." Okay, so joking aside, how about this title? Live, leaving Scientology almost cost Marcus Sawyer his life. I said, "Sure, very sensational clickbait." He said, "Fine, I'll stick with the titty fuck title. If you come up with something better later, call me." Ah! God damn. See that back and forth shit, you know? The Euros call it taking the piss, man. Taking the piss, mate. We used to take the piss out of each other. And, you know, it never really dawned on me um, how close I was to him until he died, because no one knew how to find him. And then people started messaging me, and it's like, why didn't I? That's obvious. He didn't talk to his sister, he didn't talk to his mom or dad, except through email, and it was all what they call good roads, good weather, meaning you don't talk about anything really. You just, it's like, hey, how's it going? I'm alive. And whenever we broke up, or whatever you want to call it, I didn't know. I should have. It's pretty fucking obvious. It feels a lot like when my friend Charlie killed himself. Different situation, but feels similar. It's like Charlie just needed a ride to New Orleans, man. Doug just needed me on his side. But I can't just like him, I can't compromise my integrity like that. And I did not feel it was right to attack victims. I don't care how much you hate them. I don't care if they practice Scientology still. I'm not for that, man. There's people who practice Scientology that don't even know they do because it's not Scientology. What did I say? Psychology. They practice Scientology is pseudoscience and pseudo psychology. And so, yes, it's very useful parts. They're very useful parts. It's psychology twisted. And Hubbard tells you this. This is one of the things that blew me away, in 2012, 2013 when I started rereading some of the books. He tells you straight up, don't listen to me. I am the devil incarnate, essentially. He tells you in many different ways. He will invalidate what he's about to just write a whole book on, or a bulletin, or a policy. He'll say, it's not in every single one, but he says it enough that, when you start to question it and then you read that, it's like, this motherfucker is fucking with me. He actually is admitting that this is bullshit, and he does that. But he uses real principles that can be, measurable, whatever you want to call it, demonstrable and measurable things. If you do this, this will happen. What am I even going on about now? Survivor guilt? I don't know. I went and talked to Charlie's parents, and they knew that he had been calling me nonstop for a ride. And my daughter was not even a year old. He was homeless and drinking on the street. He'd been picked up many times for it, and would go to jail and sit in the drunk tank. And he kept calling me, and then one day he stopped, and I had a baby girl, and a month went by, 2 months went by, I hadn't had a call. I finally got a message on Facebook from my friend Aaron saying, please tell me this rumor about Charlie being dead isn't true. I'm like, no, I talked to him a couple weeks ago. I'm all tired and shit from having to get up and feed the baby on Stella's baby hours, which were good. They were just tiring. Not the best memory of time. I thought it had been less time. Anyways, I was like, nah, he's alive. I'll call his dad now and I'll call you back. And I called Clay and asked him, I was like, look, hey, Erin called me and said that she heard a rumor Charlie's dead. I'm just calling to make sure he's not. And there was a silence. And he was trying to fight back the tears. He's like, I wish I could say that was the case. And Charlie hung himself in the Sulphur jail. And so you know, when Doug died, um, well, prior to Doug's death, I think he was being introduced to a lot of inductive stress in his environment. Environmental controls where he lived in LA. Now, I'm not saying he noticed it directly because he may have or he may have and just used Scientology or whatever the equivalent psychological method would be to what they do in Scientology called not is something. And what that means is to just ignore it, completely ignore it. So if people were, when he walked to the store to get his cigarettes, if someone walked past him and was saying something about his case folder or something, and they've done this before. They do this to certain people. They don't do the same things to everybody, by the way. When I say they, I mean any kind of espionage, fair game stuff. They'll do different things to different people. It's very much like the CIA, where you learn a person, you learn what it is that they're going to want and need, and you supply it. But then you introduce environmental factors that can slowly drive a person insane, or slowly stress someone out, or if there is a target of opportunity, they call them tops. A target of opportunity is someone who is in severe emotional distress. That's when you really, really lay it on thick. You put in environmental controls. If you have people in the person's direct environment, that's when you would take advantage and use that, play that card, because you might actually burn that bridge doing that, because usually people don't like, not obviously there are sociopaths out there, but usually people don't like, and I'm talking about non-Scientologists here. Scientologists masquerading as regular wogs, is what they call them, to develop and cultivate relationships so that in the event of a target of opportunity, they can then turn the screw. It is very nuanced. And the best of the best that do this shit always seem to get away with it because there's no evidence, there's no proof. Um, so he says, lol, okay. Scratch the titty fuck part 4. How about hanging around Melrose Mission, dude? Okay, dude, I think I'll just call it something like Live with former Melrose Mission staff Marcus Sawyer. Melrose plays with Marcus Sawyer. Outrunning cops while on coke with Marcus Sawyer. I'm not sorry that I'm weeping on this broadcast. I don't give a fuck. I miss Doug. I miss. I love Doug. And I don't know who these motherfuckers were who came on this channel and leaving me messages. Snake. Snake, you sabotaged Doug. What the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Zero Dark Tony? Dude with a traumatic brain injury who probably doesn't even realize what he's doing. He's just like got a gaming rig. He's disabled. He's got a TBI. Like, broadcast setup. Really nice one. In fact, I watched 17 minutes of his broadcast. First one, or one of them. And that was all I needed to watch because as soon as he started attacking people, attacking victims, I'm like, I'm done with this guy. And Doug was talking to him. He's like, Doug thought he was still, he would. Doug knew that everyone was susceptible to this kind of coercion. Yet he felt like he was somewhat impervious to it because he had been through it already. Not the case, because he became what I'm putting out there that he probably became a target of priority, a tops. Oh, this guy's very emotionally vulnerable right now. Hit him with everything. No proof. No proof of it either. Where's the phone records? Where's the emails? Where's my fucking messages that I had? Stress induction. If you think that the United States government or other governments of the world haven't done some sick ass fucking testing where they kill people without doing anything, and I don't know if I'm just morbid and paranoid or if everyone else is not paranoid enough. Because they shut down a lot of this inhumane experimentation in the 70s. Do you think that the mad scientists of the world and the politicians that want to utilize these human tools are going to give that up? Especially if they have a way through their constitutions and rights for religious organizations to continue to conduct what is essentially, you know, mind any experiment they want to. They can conduct any kind of social experiment. And they get free fucking pass. So why would they get rid of it? Months ago, you got off. Okay, Ann said I got done with ZDT months ago, too. He has gone off the deep end. Well, I mean, this was. Yeah. 2021, 2022. 17 minutes, I was done. Don't attack victims. Yes, victims of Scientology and of many other religions are also, well, were also perpetrators. You have to be. That's part of the whole thing, isn't it? You want to share Christ with your brother and your sister. And then once you share Christ with them and they feel the body, the spirit of God or Christ, whatever, then you start telling them, well, don't eat meat during Lent. Don't do this. Don't jack off before you're married. Don't have sex before you're married. If you jack off, you go to hell. go on a mission, donate your life and time, 15% of your income, go get some auditing. Let us mind fuck you to death. And there's different. It's as to me. It's I think of it as Dante, uh, Inferno to Paradiso. You know, there's different. This is the 9 circles of hell. There's different types of it, but it's all hell. He said, listening to your interview with Aaron for the 100th time, I learn new shit each time I hear this. And I said, I Seroquelled myself last night, just waking up. Then there was the time I played Going Clear on the broadcast. There's some links I do need to check out. I'm gonna get Alex to help me download the entire history. More quick chats, which are not quick chats. Hey, quick question always turns into 2 hours minimum. He liked my music. People that like my music, you know, of course, someone that likes your shit, that's gonna be. That should be a hit song. Well, yeah, you like it. Um, these streams and chats are fun, dude. Who knew being an ex could be so good? Okay, so this is where I'm talking about people that writing the algorithms, staying relevant, exposure. I think we were talking about. No, this isn't Zero Dark Tony. He said, what? Oh, programming. This was when SPTV came out. He said, we didn't come up with SPTV. Alex kind of stole it from the Three Amigos, lol. I said, good artists borrow, great artists steal. More phone calls. More phone calls. I'll call you in like 10 minutes. 1 hour, 17 minutes. 1 hour, 4 minutes. Those are short ones. He recommended the Unabomber documentary, MK Ultra. He said that the Unabomber was a well-known MK Ultra test subject. And you know, as we're wrapping up, scrolling through Doug and I's chat, Doug wanted to save the world from all of that. And I'm not joking either. He was serious about it from what I could tell. He, you know, he would say often, I have nothing else to live for. And that disturbed me. It's part of why I was like, man, I need to get out and start walking, maybe quit smoking, go to therapy. but he was into going full ass, not half ass, full ass, not just at Scientology, but the government. And not just the government, but world elites. And of course, I never watched all of his conspiracy videos. Um, but it's always a conspiracy until it's proven true. And from my firsthand experience in Scientology in Los Angeles, I can say that you know, I felt like a spy, like a CIA dude. You got to know your target. You got to understand them. You have to empathize with them. You have to be their friend, confidant, sometimes maybe romantic partner. And, you know, Andrew Bustamante talks about a city where you get trained. One of the final. Whether or not Andrew Bustamante is a credible source is up for debate. Either way, I do feel like he's sort of a controlled disclosure guy, but um, he said that, you know, he can't. One of the things he can't talk about in his training was where he went to actively train the skills that they taught him, and he said it was a city. That's all he could say was it was a city. And I'd bet that it's somewhere like LA. May not be LA. Somewhere like LA where there's so many people and so much crime and so much stuff that you can do all kinds of shit and test the limits, test the boundaries of what you're capable of doing or experiencing. And, you know, being recruited into the CIA is also a bit of a his version of it is, you know, I don't know if that's how it goes. It may go different for every recruitment. I don't know. But it doesn't make much sense to me given the tendency towards greed, control, and power for those in the highest positions to have some way to do their, I'm just going to call it sociological experiments. And it's become the whole world. And that's what Doug was really upset about. That the whole world has become a cult. A dangerous cult. So what do you do with that? You know, like he's like, man, we need to keep talking about it. What are we gonna do? They're gonna fucking, like, if that conspiracy is true, we're just gonna end up dead. And I got kids. Did you ever think about that, Doug? There were times where it seemed like he did not at all consider the fact that I am a father and that there might be inherent danger in some of the things that he wanted to do or asked me to do. Just talking about it. I feel comfortable talking about it now because of where I am. We've got cameras everywhere now. The law here is anyone 18 and over can concealed carry without a permit. I like the right to bear arms. And I exercise it, you know. So, what else we got? Great titles, yeah. Doug would sit there and iterate on titles, and I'll be honest, it drove me nuts because I'm like, dude, just come up with the right one. Just stop trying to think of the perfect one and just come up with something appropriate. Know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying, man. Yeah. So that's about all I got today. Doug Scott Kramer here. Erased. We tried to get the hard drives. No such luck. And we do know that the church went over there. So it's the last week of the month. Next month, August, September. September. We got some holidays coming up. We're finishing out the month now. I would say this week, just because what is it? 8. Pray like hell that we don't get hurricanes down here for me, if you don't mind. Need a lot of that good vibe stuff. Because we need to make it all the way to November. So we got 2 more months. 9 weeks. We can make it through that. Man, that'd be great. And that would be appreciated. Any well-wishing for the Gulf states. Because this shit really... I mean, it's like any other natural disaster. It's so disruptive. In some ways, 2024 just now getting back to where we were, or just now catching up to where we were in 2020. Infrastructure. There's certain infrastructure that was built that was not destroyed, but much of it was. There were over 4,000 transmission towers that went down during Hurricane Laura, just Laura. There were 2 more after that, 3 more after that. Plus COVID, plus ice storm. So we're going to get some weather. That's fine. But as long as we don't have any hurricanes, we're happy. I don't know. Go out and make plans for the weekend or something and get through the week. And then, we'll have a brand new month next week, maybe. I don't know how many days are in this month. And Beach says Doug was a perfectionist. Yeah, he was. He was probably, I don't know, who knows, because of all the auditing he had. A lot of his pathologies could have been induced, but some of the traits that I saw remind me very much of like my friend who told me about, hey, they don't hate you, they're intimidated by you. She's very, uh, I can't remember if it's ADHD or ADD, but like a border collie, um, sometimes 6, 7, 8 different trains of thought going on at the same time, and it's all coming out of their mouth. Um, Doug was like that a little bit. It's like he would have so many pots, or irons in the fire, but he was still able to cook everything. And the deep diving and the perfectionist, yeah, totally. And Christine, I just did a Xenu shot of Irish whiskey and a bong hit. Good. That Irish whiskey would tear my ass up, but I'm all about the bongs. Beach. Oh, apparently we have Scottish gin here. I have a drink every now and then, a couple times a year. Probably best I don't activate any dormant genes. I got some mean genes when it comes to drinking. I'm not a mean drunk unless I drink tequila, but I could kill myself drinking. I had to stop again after I left Scientology. I was drinking so much. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right. This is what it feels like when you become an alcoholic. I better stop this. I am cause over matter, energy, space, and time. And I just quit cold turkey. It was a bad decision, but I was 27 and I survived it. Hey, Sophia. Just about wrapping up in last 2 minutes here. Hope you enjoy if you're doing a replay. But if you're just stopping in to say hello, bonjour to you as well. Mon ami. I guess I'll play Going Clear. That was Doug's jam for every time after I played it that first time. Every time we go on for a broadcast, he would just go on and on about that song. It's a decent song, but it's not like my best work or anything. I think it just for him it was um, he thought it encapsulated the Scientology experience well enough. Where the hell is the video? It's not there. There it is. Clear. Volume should be up. Yep. Oh, you're right. Sound is probably not on. Hold on. Let me fix that. It's only on. There we go. Monitor and output. Here we go. Sorry about that. Sorry, Doug. Dude, seriously, bro? Fix the fucking sound. desperate, degraded, ego inflated mind, looking for something, eat up your money and time. See, you can keep your head up without your spine. Make a decision, will give you some pockets to mine. And I can't say what keeps us here. No, I can't say what keeps us here. Can't say why we're still here. What do I believe? What am I supposed to believe? Got nothing but time. But nothing comes to mind. And one day, someday, it'll all be clear. Being together is better than saying goodbye. Let's look at the people walking all lonely outside. No good to you if I can't see with my own two eyes. Walking in circles, blind leading the blind. Well, what is true? What's true for you? What is real? Did you forget how to feel? Need to eat, beg, borrow, and steal. But none of it matters. Your life is just scattered. You bled like a pig and reality shattered. Oh, I can't say keeps us here. Say what keeps us here. Can't say what keeps us here. What do I believe? What am I supposed to believe? Nothing but time. Nothing comes to mind. One day, someday, it'll all be clear.